Hello everyone, today we're going to convert this RS11 to DCC and Sound. It is an Atlas and it's really cool, from the things that I've purchased in the past. This is one of my coolest engines and it's not for sale on my website. I'm keeping this for me, so it's got a NCE no sound decoder in it and functions perfectly, but I wanted to get sound because sound is cool. So I got an XL Systems DCC and Sound board. So this is ready for an Atlas GP38. Happens to be the same size board as a RS11. Actually, the alcoves that this fits into, there's the RS11, there's the C420, there's GE U25B, GE B23-7, and of course GP38, GP40. So it fits into a lot of engines, maybe more. So I use them all the time, and I fit them into alcoves and SD35 also. So I fit them into a lot of different engines because it's the same size board. So this is a real sweetie. This is a keeper, 100%. It has very good detail. I mean, a lot of it is just painted on, but look at this thing, what a beauty. Fits in well with my Pen Central stuff. So we'll just start by removing the shell. Removing the shell, I used the box method. I saved you from everything being hit on the table because this video gets to be ASMR. So I upload the real video on Fridays, and then on Wednesday I do the ASMR. I had a question on my website about the GP38 board not fitting into everything. So this is XL Systems. I buy these because they're affordable. I'm going to give you the contact info. Basically, you just type in XL Systems DCC and you get them right away. And I'll give you the contact info for the guy that runs that. He's alright. There we go. This is the contact info. So yeah, lots of CVs you can work on. We are going to be working on the CV123 diesel prime mover. So you have it says 0 to 1, but you have more choices than that. So there's choices in there for Alcos, GEs, and two EMD prime movers. So you've got lots of choices in there. So yes, about the board not fitting. This is a board that's set up for a GP38, and it's the same size as the RS11, and it could fit others, but you have to mill the frame just a little bit, and that is the reason why I never milled this frame. It's because basically I like this engine too much to mill the frame, but at the same time, such is life. I want sound, so I have to put the correct decoder. Now, as I remove these, I'm a little bit mindful of where they were because I want to put them back exactly as they were, because they are very quiet. And I haven't figured out exactly why, one engine is super quiet and then the next engine isn't. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm working on it anyways. There's a couple of tabs here just holding the two frames together. I think I will remove the screws at the same time since I'm here. The two screws that were really stuck in there. The contact strips, I just ran my fingers over them. That should be enough to clean them. Look at that, it's 4 separate contact strips. That's really neat. And then I'll keep working on spreading this around. We'll see how well the XL system board fits in there. I might have to do a little bit of milling of the frame, but you know what, we'll just take it one step at a time. There's a little insulator. Those screws were really stuck in there. You need it for the engine to run, so that's so odd. The motor's stuck on the other side, which usually never happens. Alright, so I'll just put these here for now. Because of the way this thing ran, it ran so perfectly, I don't think I need to put any lubrication in there. I think it's gonna be okay. And then the motor, we'll put it back correctly. There is an up and a down on it. Well, as you can see, the motor contact should be on the up, so you can't really screw it up. Only goes back one way. Then I have my frame. Looks mint. Like I said before, this thing ran perfectly. There's my NCE no sound board, which I'm keeping. I'm keeping that for another engine. So that it has a lot of choices of where it can go. Let's just see quick how this fits in there. I like to put them on this side first, but actually looks pretty good to start with. This is one of the newer types of unit where they have a tiny little clip on the circuit board to help it connect. There's one that fell there, so you want to be mindful of that. You don't want to lose them. They are good. Sometimes I have to mill a little bit at the front, but today the front part is good. I have to mill the back just a little bit to make room for the speaker. So what I do is I'll take my Sharpie I found this big one, in intensity. I found that in my house, and I've been using it, and it is good. I like it. So I have to mill just a little bit here, so on both sides. I found the best tool for this to be a hacksaw. I've got an angle grinder, I've got a Dremel, I've got a hacksaw. The hacksaw, I find, is the easiest to use for that. So you want to make the frame as bare as possible, because after I get done with the milling, I will wash it again. Even these little tabs actually help in noise reduction. So you want to like them, and you want to reuse them. So we'll just take them out, set them aside. The same with the contact strips. We'll take them out and set them aside. So then your frame is bare, and we can make the cut. Actually, this side might be no need. I might not need to cut this side. Let's just check with the board. It's not obvious when you look at the frame which way is the front and which way is the back. Actually, very not obvious. You can maybe tell with the fuel tank. the fuel tank's very symmetrical also. So even with the fuel tank, it's not easy to tell. So I'm gonna try my decoder. The back of it should be here. Oh, I have to mill it, but just a tiny little bit. That's gonna take no time at all. Like that. So that I can even do that with the Dremel because it's so small. That was a little bit lucky. Alright, so I'm gonna go with the hacksaw. This one's probably gonna get done with the Dremel, and that one's gonna get done with the hacksaw. So enough talking, let's go. I ended up hacksawing this, and now I'm gonna take the Dremel and make the cut just to look a little bit smoother. And this one too, I did it with the hacksaw, and I'm just gonna Dremel this just to make it look smooth. So basically, I just remove all the sharp edges from this. Remove all the sharp edges and make it look just a little bit neater. Now you can see all the shrapnel on the bottom there. I take all the sharp edges. You can see all the shrapnel here, so that I have to clean my table, and also have to wash the frame, the both halves. This is probably Zamac, a zinc alloy, which is non-ferrous, so it doesn't get caught up by the magnets. Since I had the shell off, I took a minute just to wash it. It wasn't particularly dirty, but since I had all my stuff ready to go, I did it. And I also washed the frame. Now I am ready to put everything back together. Okay, now I'm ready to put everything back together. Just test fitting this. It's still a bit high. I have to make some room for these little wires. But I think I can just move them to the side and it's gonna be okay. Actually is looking okay. So that's perfect. Don't forget about these little strips. They do help your board contact the frame. So they're very, very small, but I know they help. So once you got your board in, you can bring in the motor. The motor has to contact these two pads here. Very important. So as you bring it in, you also can look into putting some Kapton tape on this. It's got a nice protective plastic here. So I don't know how major that's going to be. I might put a little bit here though. That's going to come in handy. So you need to worry about all this at the same time. These pads, the two worm gears. Actually, since I have the worm gears opened up, I'm going to put just a drop of oil because, because I have them in my hands there. I don't think they really need it, but since I'm here, may as well. And then I'll bring in the other side of the frame. That was pretty much the hardest part. Now I'm just gonna start my screws. Just get them started. I'll just finish that off camera so it doesn't get too boring. I don't need to tighten them just yet because I want to have enough slack to get my trucks in there. And these have only four little contact strips. So these I am going to measure them out so that they land exactly on the top of these power trucks with the little contact pin there. So I'm going to assemble them carefully. And then the fuel tank will hold them in place for you. It looks like there's only one direction where it will fit. So you can go back and check everything, make sure you're happy. And then we'll put on the power trucks. I guess having four little contact strips like that allows you to adjust them precisely. So as I put my trucks back on here, I'm going to make sure that I just spread out the frame before I tighten it, but I'm just going to make sure that everything's riding properly where it should be, that these little plates are contacting the little raised section. A little fine adjustment at this point pays you back in just good running reliability. So I'm going to readjust everything and then I'll tighten my two screws. Then obviously the front of the engine is these two battery boxes. So we'll go try this on the track. I'm just going to tighten the screws, make sure everything's adjusted properly, and then we're going on the track. I like to do the initial programming with the shell off, which is not necessary. I guess you could do it with the shell on. I guess I do it instinctively. That's like working under the hood to me. At any rate, put down in the comments below whether you like to see me do this step or not. Anyways, the first try I always go program on the program track. So program track, enter, and then standard. Manufacturer 143, Disclosure version 0, setup address yes, short address 03, that's good. Activate this address, and then the long address. Cannot read the CV. Well, that's not good. I'll ask it to try it again. And then skip the rest. Just enter, skips the rest. I'm going to do the exact same thing again, just to be able to program it. So I just did the initial programming again, exactly the same thing. So I'll just hit, I hit F8 3 times to shut it down, and then F8 again to start it up. The horn, and then the bell, then the headlight, reverse headlight, and then move forward. So I got it to run, no problem. It's on a speed step that's much too high, so I'm going to redo the speed curve. I'm going to use the instructions from an old Digitrax decoder, and I find that that's a pretty good guide actually. I find that this table is a very good guide. With a little bit of tweaking, I got it to where I'm happy. Perfect. So this doesn't really sound like a very nice alco, so I'm going to change the prime mover sound. It's CV123. So that one I can just program that on the main. Basically, you gotta try out all the different values. It's CV123, so program on the main, enter, 8003, enter, 2 for CVs, it's CV123, enter, and then the value will put 0, just to see what that does. So it's probably on sound 0 already. We'll continue again, 123, enter, value will put 1. That sounds a lot more like an alcohol. That's what the other values give you. So 123, enter, 2. Sounds kind of like another EMD. That sounds actually really great, number 3. Let's try 4. That also sounds really cool. So that was number 5. So I guess number 6. I guess number 5 is the highest. Yeah, for sure. I think I liked that 3. Yeah, I think I'm keeping it at that for an alto. So now I can put the shell back on. So that should go in there nice and easy. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.